One thing that makes Houghton really special is the professors. It's perhaps my favorite part of Houghton is the relationships that you are able to build with professors.
All of my professors have known my name within 2 or 3 classes, and that has been really meaningful to me to know that they want to get to know me as an individual.
I think the biggest thing I like about Houghton is the students. They really work well together.
And within the biology and the chemistry departments, as well as throughout the sciences, there are amazing professors who are excellent scholars and very strong in their academic fields, as well as people of integrity and of character that can impart into your lives.
One of the things that's unique about Houghton is that faculty members are interested in academic and spiritual development among students. It's not uncommon for faculty members to host a student-led Bible study in their home.
They're excited about where you're going and what your potential is, as well as who you are as a person and how you're developing spiritually in this process.
It's not uncommon for faculty members to pray with students in their offices.
My academic advisor, Dr. Wei, who ended up also being one of my closest mentors throughout my entire college career. I would frequently stop by and talk with him about anything that happened to be cropping up in my life, academic or otherwise.
And you get to be involved in the faculty's lives, and so when you're getting letters of recommendation, which are the key for graduate school, they're actually meaningful.
I really appreciate my professors and my peers because I usually get the chance to talk with my professor and work through any issues that might arise.
It's very common for professors to spend afternoons working with students on research questions or on homework problems.
The professor's always there helping us through the week with any questions and problems that we run into.
In a smaller lab setting, we're able just to bounce ideas off each other as you're working through the action, and that's been very helpful as you start to understand why a reaction works the way it does.
Most of our upper level biology classes are limited to 16 students, so if it's beyond the required core courses, you're going to have a small class and a lot of interaction with the faculty member.
When you're getting letters of recommendation, which are the key for graduate school, they're actually meaningful, and they help a lot when you're at a smaller school like this.
I was able to interact each of our students in the program and give them really a hands-on or tutorial fashion rather than a big lecture fashion.
I personally participated in a summer research institute after my freshman year in chemistry and did studies with a professor for about a month on physical chemistry.
We really want to be about solving real-world problems here at Houghton, not just doing science that's exclusively for the sake of doing science.
We study theory in courses, and yet we also feel like it's very important that students have a hands-on experience of actually working with what we're talking about.
In our computer science program, we have a balanced approach which combines theory with practical skills.
This past year I've had the opportunity to start work on an honors project. The focus of our study has been lung cancer, and we were trying to see if we can find a way to analyze the genes of patients and determine if we can calculate and predict what subtype of cancer a given patient will have.
The Science Honors Program is a new program that we have started at Houghton College. Our project this year is very exciting. It's dealing with alternative fuels. Specifically, we have our students designing their own small prototypes in a go-kart fashion.
And they'll design and construct a vehicle that runs on alternative energy.
One of the things that I think is beneficial for Houghton students is that they get to learn how to use and run all their own instrumentations. They can run their own samples. The students don't have to worry about graduate students running samples or having to wait in line.
Since there's no graduate school here, you get to be TAs for classes underneath you, where only graduate students really are reserved that opportunity at bigger schools.
One of the things that I found working in an industrial setting is that I had to give presentations every week, and I had to give written reports, and I had to work with people at all levels, from PhD level all the way down to high school.
In our classes, we have time set apart where students work in groups on problems related to what they just learned. They learn skills that will help them when they go out into the workplace, and they're required to work in groups to complete projects.
One of the things that I like to emphasize in my classes is having students not only be able to do chemistry in the labs and talk about it and write it on paper, but be able to present information orally. And so I found just the stress on communication that I learned here was very important in an industrial setting, not only to be able to communicate things technically, but to communicate things to people at all levels.
Even if the industry changes dramatically in the future, as it is almost certainly going to do, I feel confident that I have the ability to keep on top of anything that the future might bring at me. Not because I know, say, how to do one specific thing, but rather because I've had the foundational training to keep track of how to learn about any changes that the industry might bring.